This year isn't about a trophy. This year isn't about a placing. This year is about proving to people that what they saw in 2022 was only a fraction of what I can be. 2024 is about the year of redemption. What is going on, guys? Welcome to the video. Today I thought I would take you guys through a full day of eating of what my food is looking like at just a little over 12 weeks out from the first show. So first thing you guys would have saw me do was take my supplements. So I took all of my supplements this morning. I took all my vitamins. I took my fish oil. I had my greens powder. I had my digestion drink, all of that stuff. I did cover that in a previous full day of eating. So if you guys do want a little bit more of an in-depth look into the exact vitamins I take, my digestion drink and things like that, then definitely go ahead and check that video out. I'll go ahead and link it in the description below. But I go ahead and I have all of that stuff before my first meal. So get all that stuff done and out of the way before we dive into meal number one. Meal number one here is going to be pretty similar to what it was during my off season. This meal has probably changed the least just because this is going to be my pre-workout meal. So I want to make sure that I'm still getting in a good amount of carbs pre-workout so that I can perform at my absolute best. Those are going to be the two meals that I'm going to change the least as much as I can, is going to be my pre-workout meal as well as my post-workout meal, because we want to make sure that we are trying to still keep a good amount of calories, a good amount of carbs around our training window so that we can still uphold that training performance, because that's going to be one of the biggest factors that is going to contribute to muscle retention, is going to be our ability to train. So this meal hasn't changed too much. Currently for meal number one here, we have 350 grams of egg whites. We have 2 whole eggs, 1.5 bagels. I was having 2 bagels in the off season. That's come down to 1.5 bagels, and then 200 grams of apple as well. So this is still going to be a pretty carb heavy meal here, but like I said, this is going to be my pre-workout meal. So just went ahead and put a little bit of sugar-free ketchup and Frank's Red Hot over it. That combination is actually really good. Is sugar-free ketchup and Frank's Red Hot. Definitely go ahead and try it. But yeah, this is going to be meal number one. So I'm gonna go ahead and eat this. And then I like to eat this about an hour and a half to 2 hours before I train, because this is going to be a relatively large meal. So I will give myself enough time to go ahead and digest this meal. So I'm gonna go ahead and dive into meal number one, and I will catch you guys in a bit. Okay, it is time for the pre-workout. So for today's pre-workout, we are going to be going with the Ghost Legend All Out. This is kind of their upgraded version of their normal pre-workout. So it's got a little bit of a larger dose when it comes to stuff. But like a full scoop of this is like 400 milligrams of caffeine, which is a bit much for me. So I'm just going to go with half a scoop of this to get 200 milligrams in there, because I find that if I have too much caffeine, like anything over like 250, getting close to 300 starts to give me a little bit too much anxiety during my workouts, I learned. So don't want to have an anxiety attack during my workouts, so gonna go with about half a scoop of this. The way that I go ahead and kind of structure my pre-workouts is going to be on my bigger, heavier days, so my quad day, and then today is back and hamstrings. I will go ahead and have a stim-based pre-workout, and then on my push days and my pull day, I'll generally go ahead and have a non-stim pump pre-workout, and generally just potentially sip an energy drink maybe like an hour before or something. I feel like this just keeps me relatively sensitized to pre-workouts, so I don't become fully reliant on them, especially the deeper I get into this prep as energy levels dip down and whatnot. I'm probably going to rely a little bit too much on caffeine. So gonna go ahead and do half a scoop of this. Then as well, I will put my creatine into my pre-workout. Right now I'm doing about 7 grams of creatine. I talked about this in the last video, but we do know that the optimal dose for creatine is going to actually be 1 gram per every 10 kilograms of body weight. So right now I go ahead and put about 7 grams in there. And then last thing I'm actually going to add is going to be some pink salt. We know that pink salt is going to be very good for muscle hydration. We know that pink salt is also going to help us to get a good pump. So we're going to go ahead and put a pretty healthy dose of that in there, almost about half of a teaspoon, not quite. So that is going to be my pre-workout, and I will go ahead and start sipping that about 20 minutes before I'm going to get into like my first working set, because I'll get to the gym, I'll walk on the treadmill, I'll warm up and all that sort of stuff. So then I'll go ahead and kind of time it so that it's starting to peak as I'm getting into that first working set. I talked about this in the last video as well, but I do still currently have carbs in my intro workout. I'm still eating enough carbs that I find that I'm not super starving and need to put this somewhere else. And I do find that I train long enough that this does provide me with a performance boost. You know, I lift weights, not including cardio, post-workout. I lift weights for probably like 2 hours, so that's a significant amount of time. So I do find that the intra-workout carbs here do help to just kind of give me that little boost and to keep me going throughout the workout. So currently I am doing 25 grams of carbs intra-workout. As I said, throughout this prep, that might get pulled out when I feel that I want to go ahead and actually physically eat that 25 grams of carbs. But for right now, it's providing me with enough of a performance boost that I definitely think it's worth it. And then as well, in my intro workout, I'll just go ahead and throw in 15 grams of essential amino acids. Essential amino acids are great for promoting muscle protein synthesis. As well, they are going to be very beneficial when it comes to hydration as well, because something like this, the grind from Max and Sledge, is going to have a hydration matrix in it. So it's going to make sure that you are staying nice and hydrated throughout your workout. So I'll go ahead, throw this together, and then I will generally try to finish this about halfway through my workout so that I'm still able to utilize those carbs, still able to utilize the nutrients in this, because if I'm finishing it near the end of my workout, then it's really not providing me much of a benefit. So that is going to be a pre and intro workout. So I'm gonna finish putting this together, and then I will catch you guys at the gym. Okay, just pulled up to the gym here. Pre-workout is in me, so hopefully that will be kicking in here soon, because we got a big back and hamstring stretching to do. This is usually a pretty big workout, but we're gonna go crush it because we are out here getting shredded. So let's go ahead and absolutely crush this workout. I'm working nights. Hey, you trying to shut me out? It's getting blatant. Hey, I come and see you now, no hesitation. Yeah, I'm really, really tired of being patient. Hey, if you won't give it to me, I'ma take it. Take it. If you won't give it to me, I'ma take it. Take it. If you won't give it to me, I'ma take it. What if they never told you that the world wasn't round? Would you flip it over? You playing poker with the joker, boy, let's keep it kosher. Yeah, mama, your son finna go supernova. Keep your focus, really, I just might spaz out. Alright, workout is complete. Ended up being not a bad workout, but it was a lot longer than I expected. I've been here way too long, and then especially having to do post-workout cardio right now, that definitely takes a little bit of time. So I am absolutely starving, so we're gonna go ahead, head home, and get our post-workout meal together. meal number 2 and our post-workout meal is going to be 90 grams of cream of rice, 100 grams of banana, and 75 grams of blueberries. As well, in the cream of rice, I have 30 grams of whey isolate. This meal, again, hasn't really changed as far as actual food choices go. The main thing that has changed in this meal has just been the volume of the meal, and that's going to be the majority of my meals, especially when you're coming from an off season going into a prep. Your food choices shouldn't change all that much. If you were digesting those foods good during your off season, then keep those foods in during prep. Obviously, as your prep progresses, you might make swaps for things that are a little bit more higher in volume, such as like swapping out rice for potato. But as far as like actual food choices go, they should stay relatively similar throughout your entire prep. So that is what we have there. For the cream of rice, and then I just have 250 mils of Fairlife skim milk here just for a little bit of extra protein for this meal. But like I said, workout was a little bit longer than anticipated, so I'm a little bit behind on meals. So I'm gonna go ahead and dive into this, and then I will catch you guys for meal number 3. Okay, meal number 3 is going to be 200 grams of chicken breast, 425 grams of potato. I just made the switch recently from rice to potato just simply for the fact that my rice was getting a bit lower and I wanted a little bit more volume with this meal. So I went ahead and swapped that over to potato, because obviously you're going to get a bit more potato as far as the carbs go, you know, in a 1-to-1 ratio to rice basically. So we got some chicken breast in there, some potato, also have a zucchini that I went ahead and chopped up and air fried, and then threw in some spring mix as well for some greens in there. Went ahead and topped that off with 15 mils of extra virgin olive oil just to get some good fats in this meal. And then we're going to go ahead and top it off with the Flavor Gang sweet poppy sauce. I was talking about this in my last video, and this is good. Probably going to try some other sauces from the company because they're absolutely delicious. Like I said, a little bit pricey, but very, very tasty, especially if you are on prep. So I'm going to go ahead, dive into this, hang out, chill for a bit, and then I will catch you guys for meal number 4. Alright guys, meal number 4 is going to be a Ninja Creamy. I keep my Ninja Creamies pretty simple. This is just going to be 300 milliliters of Fairlife skim milk. I go ahead and add a little bit of extra unsweetened cashew milk in there just to top it up a little bit more. And then I just go ahead and mix 1 scoop of protein powder in there. I might add a little bit of sugar-free pudding mix. And then that's pretty much it as far as my creamies go. I keep them pretty simple. It's basically just like having a protein shake, but an ice cream version. So it's absolutely fantastic, because you think about it, if you were to have a protein shake, you'd just take the milk, you'd put the protein in there, shake it up and drink it. This is much more enjoyable, and it's basically the same calories. You can definitely have a lot of fun with Ninja Creamies and, you know, add in some wild mix-ins and stuff like that, but we on prep right now, so that's definitely not in there. So just keeping it nice and simple. Then as well, I have 2 caramel rice cakes here with 30 grams of peanut butter on there. I went ahead and I actually mixed the peanut butter with some powdered peanut butter. The reason that I do this is because it allows me to have a lot more peanut butter to actually cover the rice cakes for very little calories. I think like 16 grams of the powdered peanut butter is like 60 or 70 calories, and it's like, you know, 2 grams of fat or something like that. So it allows you to add that extra volume to your actual nut butter, whether it's peanut butter, almond butter, whatever it may be. So I actually go ahead and mix the 2 together. So I'm still getting the fats from the nut butter, but I'm getting a little bit more volume with it. This has definitely been the meal that I have pulled the most carbs from, that I have pulled the most calories from over time, just simply for the fact that, like I talked about, I want to go ahead and I want to try and keep those carbs around my workout the best that I can. So that's going to be pre-workout, intra-workout, and post-workout, because that's going to not only allow me to still perform good during my workouts, but it's also going to allow me to recover good from my workouts as well. So I'm perfectly okay with having a little bit less food in my last meal here, and it's still pretty satiating because there is a good chunk of protein in here due to the Ninja Creamy. But I'm gonna go ahead, dive into meal number 4 here, head to bed, and then I will catch you guys in the morning. Alright guys, well that is going to conclude this full day of eating 12 weeks out. As I go throughout the remainder of my prep, I will go ahead and probably do a couple more full days of eating to show you guys the changes that are being made as I make my way to the stage. But if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to drop a like on the video. Would greatly appreciate it. If you're new around here, make sure to click that subscribe button so that you don't miss out on any new content. Other than that, I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.